Hello everyone and welcome back to night 3 of the Forbidden Door. Sorry, it's been a little bit later than scheduled, but hopefully it will be worth it. And there's going to be a hell of a lot more SWE content coming for you in March. If anything, far too much for me to be able to continue and record. I've lost words already. And we're on. Let's go. So I'm typing away on the old spreadsheet at the same time. But this is an interesting one that we did see, of course. I'm sure we did see it because I was watching Impact at the time. When the Young Bucks were part of Impact, they weren't called that. They were called Generation Me. Won it in Impact. Yeah, it was a weird one, but this is a match I would love to see at some point in the new Forbidden Door era. And it'd be interesting to see how much of this we really do see, because at the moment, I mean, we've seen Private Party over in Impact, we've seen Kenny Omega over in Impact, and Matt Hardy, and so far we've seen the Good Brothers on AEW. That's about it, really. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to be the next sort of people to really start to switch and change between companies and really see some fantastic new storylines out of it, hopefully. But it's an interesting one, of course. We will be starting the Dusty Classic this month. Well, they say this month. It's not this month, is it? It's literally next month. We're starting it in March, so tomorrow. And there's going to be a massive, stupidly massive tournament. Yeah, I really regret locking myself into this now, but I've started, so I'm going to finish. We have got 128 tag teams. 128 tag teams in a knockout competition. Yes, it's stupid. It's going to take a few months to define our first tag team champions. But it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun figuring it out, and we've got a lot of content coming for you, of course, this month. We've got AEW's Revolution. I think we're going to have a Women's Championship match this month as well. Or Women's Champion. No. We're going to have a Women's Only weekend, I think. We're going to have a Cruiserweight weekend. I'm thinking a King of the Ring. And then moving into next month, we've got, of course, WrestleMania, which I think is going to be dedicated quite a lot to that. I'm thinking possibly 11 shows for WrestleMania, which is a bit mad, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. And then, of course, we will continue on with the Dusty Classic. I think the Dusty Classic might even take 2 or 3 months to complete, to be honest. Because thinking about it, I'm thinking of making them shorter episodes, so we're looking at maybe 2 matches per episode, which means we're going to have... Well, it's going to take 64 episodes to do just round 1. I know, 64 matches, so 32 episodes just to complete round 1. So it is actually going to be a hell of a lot. It'd be fine. It'd be fine. There's no rush, is there? It'd just be nice to finally crown our first tag team champions. It's going to take a while, like I said, still, but it's going to be worth it in the end. We're going to have a lot of exposure to some brand new people in these universe modes, brand new everything, so it's going to be pretty fun to see what happens. I was going to make it smaller, but then I started making a list, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, it just got too big. To the point where I think I've got every tag team I can think of. Yeah, there's a lot. There is a lot. I think I'm actually one short, but I'm sure I can figure one out. Anyway, we continue on with the match in front of us. Both of these teams, of course, will be involved in that tournament. I don't know who and when they're going to face off, but I'm going to do some sort of random draw, I think, to figure it out. Nice elbow right in the knee there by Nick Jackson on Sabin, sending Sabin back in the ring. As Shelley now with a big super kick to the kneeling Matt Jackson. So we've got 4 matches for you here this evening, including this one, of course. Hence why we're watching it. We also have... What do we have? I've forgotten already. February. There we go. Forbidden Door. So we have got... we've got a Cruiserweight Fatal 4-Way Elimination match coming up next with Will Ospreay, Rey Fenix, Pentagon Jr. and TJ Perkins. Then we have got the 3 current champions from these companies, Kenny Omega, Rich Swann and Kota Ibushi in a triple threat before our main event, of course, where Bret Hart will make another defense of his SWE Championship, this time against AJ Styles. Now, of course, next weekend is all about AEW, because next weekend is AEW's Revolution. So we'll have a few matches from AEW Revolution. We'll also do a few AEW matches ourselves as well. And we're going to enjoy that one, I think. It's going to be a fun little weekender. Matt Jackson now with almost like a rock bottom there on Chris Sabin before dropping a boot right on the inside of the leg. Another on the inside of the knee as well. Sabin's back up on his feet and pushes Matt Jackson over. But Matt Jackson straight back up on his feet with a clubbing blow to the back. So lots of action planned for tonight then. Which I think could be good. I think it'll be good. And of course, it's good for the rankings as well to really see people start to move around. Of course, we're going to stick with AEW Darks on Wednesdays. But this month, I'm expecting to put out some content every single day in this universe mode. Of course, so we're going to have the pay-per-views over the weekends. We will have Darks on Wednesday, and every other day we'll have an episode of our Dusty Classic Tag Team Championship tournaments. 2 matches per episode, so they're not going to be as long, those ones, but I think that's going to be better for everyone. And this is a great opportunity for both these teams to really build some momentum moving into that tournament and to see who can really push forth. Nick Jackson on the back, nice German suplex, but yep, Sabin was down. Shelley went for the pin on Nick Jackson, but I can't talk. Sabin went for the pin on Matt Jackson, but Nick Jackson was there to break it straight up. And Nick Jackson really rocking that crimson mask at the moment. Shelley now up on the top with Nick Jackson. Matt with a boot in the gut of Chris Sabin. It's a very back and forth match, this one. Lots of opportunities so far, as now elbows in the face of Sabin. That's not Sabin, it's Shelley. Nick Jackson now bringing Shelley back up to his feet as Matt has Sabin rocked with the elbow in the face on the apron. And now Matt Jackson looking to potentially strike with that super kick. No, Sabin avoids. They gets taken down by the clothesline. And now is it Nick Jackson's turn to look at that super kick? No, it's not. Okay. Looked like he was going to go for it there for a second. Nick Jackson doesn't quite know what to do at this point in time. But Shelley's now back up on his feet. It's a very good Shelley and Sabin, this, isn't it? Very, very good. Super kick there by Nick Jackson on Alex Shelley, who's been busted open. Matt now with Sabin up on his shoulders. Rolls him through. I thought Nick might go for the pin there. Matt Jackson now stalking the grounded Sabin. Looks at the super kick and hits it. Shelley's got his feet up on the ropes and Matt Jackson just spots it before knocking him down. Boot in the gut by Sabin. Nice, there's a 450 there. But it's the pin from... Oh! Sabin almost had it with the Northern Light suplex. Nick Jackson slamming the arm of Sabin into the mat. Shelley breaks it up and now looks at a super kick again right in the face of Nick Jackson. Really struggling, Nick Jackson. Matt now with the boot in the back of the head of Sabin. It's Shelley and Nick on the outside. Leaves Matt Jackson middle of the ring. What's his plan here? He's going to go for the moonsault. He hooks the leg for the pin. 1, 2, and Shelley gets there just in time on the brink of 3. Wow. If he hadn't got there, that was done and dusted, that wasn't it? That was really done and dusted if he hadn't got there. Shelley now sending Matt Jackson over the top. Clubbing blow. And now Shelley taking Matt Jackson up and dropping him spine first on the apron. Nick Jackson look for the super kick on Sabin, who now takes Jackson up. Spins and flattens, hooks the legs. This could be the best opportunity so far. Matt Jackson's controlled on the outside, but Nick kicks out after a 2. Wow. A sore throat already, Ian. Just too excited. Nick Jackson now stalking Sabin, who's on the outside. Is he thinking to go for a dive? He does dive to the outside, taking Sabin down. It's now Shelley and Matt Jackson in the ring. Shelley breaks free of the sidewalk slam and into that standing sliced bread. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Nick Jackson's coming in. He doesn't get there in time, but he doesn't need to. And then Nick Jackson just super kicks Alex Shelley even. Big super kick. And a German suplex as well. And the Bucks are in control of this match, but have they got enough to finish this one off? Super kick there by Matt Jackson on Sabin. Shelley still up though at his feet as well. It's now Shelley in the corner, and he goes for the sliced bread. Sabin with the boot in the gut, and Matt Jackson on the outside, and the Inseguri gets the victory for the Motor City Machine Guns. Wow, what a match between two of the top tag teams here in SWE, and two teams who I think you might consider as favourites potentially for this upcoming Dusty Classic. Great victory for the Motor City Machine Guns. Let's move on as we, for some reason, have an invisible Sabin. And here we go then. Fatal 4-way elimination match. Of course, a point for each elimination, plus an extra point for your victor in this match. Of course, we've got Will Ospreay representing New Japan Pro Wrestling in this one. TJ Perkins representing Impact. And Pentagon and Fenix both representing AEW, although have both wrestled in... was Ospreay wrestled in... I'm sure Ospreay did wrestle in Impact once or twice when they did in the UK tour, I believe. Of course, Pentagon and Fenix were both part of Impact Wrestling for a while as well, so they're very much well aware of each other's talents, I would imagine, and this should be a very, very fun match. Of course, you will see Pentagon and Fenix as part of a tag team, the Lucha Bros, as part of our Dusty Classic as well. So it's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be pretty fun. I mean, Pentagon versus Fenix is just an incredible match no matter what, isn't it? You'd always have fun with Pentagon versus Fenix. We'll have to do some sort of like Family Matters show or something at some point where we put teams of families up against each other or stuff like that maybe, I don't know. Nice drop kick right in the face there by Fenix on Will Ospreay. Ospreay as well is someone who's sort of stepped up in New Japan from the Cruiserweight division up into a heavyweight position now, which would be pretty interesting to see. For us, he really can span a lot of genres. However, I feel like we want our cruiserweight division to be incredible, and therefore maybe Ospreay will be someone involved in that. We haven't got round to the cruiserweight tournament yet. We're going to have a lot more stuff going on. I mean, the tag team tournament's going to take God knows how long anyway, so the cruiserweight tournament might take place after that. But there's a lot of fun stuff to come. A lot of fun stuff to come. Pentagon with a boot in the gut, and now taking TJP up. Wow. Dropping him face first in that butterfly. No way to protect yourself in that situation. Pentagon once again bringing TJP back up into the corner now. Springs him off, up, and dropped him face first, middle of the mat. And Pentagon is looking great here tonight. And Pentagon again taking TJP up on his shoulders, drops him in that powerbomb. I feel like TJP's time could be limited here at this point. Pentagon is really dominating him. And Pentagon and Fenix, another tag team who I would say... The thing is, there's so many amazing tag teams. I was about to say they could be favourites, but there are so many amazing tag teams. Everybody's blooming favourites, aren't they? If you think about it, everybody's a favourite because there's so many amazing tag teams. Big chop across the chest by Will Ospreay. Now dragging Fenix along. I quite like this new format we're doing this year. I don't know. We're 2 months into the year now. What do you guys think? I like the idea of not having any defined roster or anything like that, because it does mean we can just do whatever the hell we fancy. If we fancy going old school for a weekend, we can do. If we fancy doing cruiserweights for a weekend, we can do. As TJP has just eliminated Pentagon. How on earth has that happened? Okay, well, that's a big point for TJP in what I believe is his debut here in SWE. I think it very well might be. TJP slamming the back of Fenix into the mat, and now doing a little posh little kick there. And Ospreay was stalking Fenix, and TJP took the opportunity there, goes over the top, sunset flip bomb to the outside. Brutal, brutal powerbomb. Big strike in the face there by TJP. Ospreay now as a hold of TJP, slams him face first in to the apron. What happened to TJP? Did he leave? It was something to do with attitude issue or something like that, wasn't it? He had, apparently. It's a bit harsh if you ask me, but he's doing okay out of it. I mean, he's working New Japan and that now as well, isn't he? As Fenix now looking for that Mexican muscle buster on Ospreay. Doesn't go into the pin yet. TJP with a strike in the face of Fenix. Now TJP jumps in the pin. Fenix is going to let him do it, and TJP gets another point here. Okay. And TJP now with Fenix up on the shoulder. Oh my god, is TJP going to whitewash this match? He might just do, you know. He freaking has. TJP, all 3 eliminations and the win. Oh my word. TJP out of nowhere making his debut in SWE has just absolutely stormed it. Absolutely stormed it. This is craziness. I did not expect that at all. Not at all. That is huge. Okay, well. Okie doke. That has surprised me a lot, that has. And TJP has just got himself 4 ranking points, which is going to automatically throw him quite high up in the rankings, which means that, like I say, he'll be, I would imagine, involved in the Cruiserweight Championship picture, especially now after that win, I suppose. You can't not be, can you, after that win? But there we go. Victory for TJP, all 3 eliminations. Fenix might be a bit annoyed about letting TJP take that second pin now, but he obviously had a plan that sort of backfired. TJP gets the win, gets the 4 points, and we move on to what is going to be a very interesting match between 3 of the champions of the biggest companies in the world. Here we go then, massive match. The Ibushi in New Japan, Rich Swann of Impact Wrestling. I'm so happy about this as well, because this really shows the evolution in wrestling now. I mean, it's been for so long we have seen essentially the big men get all of the plaudits, and if you look at these three guys in the ring, it just shows now that wrestling is more about the ability. And these three are incredibly agile, incredibly good performers inside the ring. And that's why I'm so happy to see them all as champions. Not saying there's a problem with being a big man. If you're good at being a big man, then absolutely great. But it's nice to see that wrestling has evolved away from just being, well, we'll just put the biggest man is the champion. And that's been the problem for a long time over the years. Obviously, it's eased off a lot now, but I mean, WWE do it quite a lot still every now and again. They'll put someone as champion just because they're huge. And it does sometimes just give you boring matches. But this is a match I'm really looking forward to. And a match that hopefully we could see in real life at some point. Maybe Tony Khan will copy me and he'll do the Forbidden Door pay-per-view himself. Which, Tony, if you're watching, hi. If you are watching, Tony, go ahead, mate, do it. I don't mind. I'd love to see it, to be honest. So standard triple threat rules here. First pinfall or submission will take the victory. And one ranking point, of course. Now, this is a big one, I think, for Omega, because Omega will probably be up for some sort of #1 contendership next week, bearing in mind that it is an AEW sort of show next week because it is Revolution. So more than likely he will get some sort of opportunity. Now, the thing with that is that he will want to build some momentum here this evening to showcase his ability. He is currently... Where is he, Omega? Has he dropped down a little bit? He has, yes, he has dropped down a bit. He's on +3 in the rankings at the moment. So he has dropped down a little bit. A win here will put him to +4, which would effectively put him joint 4th-ish. Depends how you look at it, I suppose. But it'll still be in a very good position. Rich Swann up on the top now with a Phoenix splash. Lovely maneuver, but Ibushi's there to break it up. Boot in the back of Kota Ibushi, and now just twisting the neck. Big boot in the spine. As now Rich Swann, nice with the fisherman suplex. There's the pin now by Swann on Kota Ibushi. Only a 1 count. Omega slowly back up on his feet, and I'm not quite sure what happened there. They both seem to miss each other. Kenny Omega now stalking the grounded Kota Ibushi. Swann drops to the outside, and Omega with the V-trigger. There's the pin. Will it be enough to finish him off? Swann's down on the outside. It's not. It's only a 2. Nice backbreaker. Omega now gets around the back of Ibushi. Swann still down as Omega now in with the one-winged angel. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Wow. Wow, I was expecting more than that. Ibushi does so well to kick out of that. Nice takedown there by Omega. Omega is looking incredibly strong here. Nice super kick takedown. And now Omega with Swann up. Capture German suplex. Boom. There's the pin for the 1, 2. Only 2. Wow. Omega now taking Rich Swann up. Big strike in the face. And a big superplex to the outside. Kota now sending Omega back into the ring. Omega catches Kota around the back into the German suplex. Keeps the grip, rolls the hip, looking in for the second. Keeps the grip, rolls the hip, looking for the third. German suplex. Big maneuver. There's the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count again. Omega is really... he's really dominating this one, but he's just struggling to get there. He's just struggling to get that finished off. Swann drops Omega. If Omega doesn't win this now, he's going to be so disappointed with the amount of damage that he's put into his opponents, but not able to get the pin. Ibushi now rolls Swann through and drops him. Bridges for the pin with his hand cupping his testicles, and it's not enough. He went for the good old testicle cupping pin there. It's an effective one. As Ibushi now tried to take Swann up, I think, for the Ibushi bomb, but Swann rolls him through. 1. Only a 1 count. Omega is back up and in the ring. Swann now dropping. Oh, nice split leg moonsault on Ibushi. And then a running forearm taking down Kenny Omega as well. Swann is in control of this match. Can he get the victory for Impact Wrestling? As Swann now wrenches back at the arm. Not enough. Both guys back up on their feet, and a running knee in the face. The V trigger by Omega on Swann. Ibushi was playing possum. Ibushi now taking Omega up into the Ibushi bomb. There's the pin, and that could be enough. 1, 2, and 3, and Kota Ibushi gets it, and he pins Kenny Omega in the process. So the New Japan champion gets the point here. And that'd be good for him. I don't think he's that high up in the rankings, actually. Let me have a quick look. Where is Kota Ibushi? He's currently on -2, so that's a massive win for Kota Ibushi, that is actually. A massive... Well, you know what I should do? I should really... Okay, I've just figured something out I need to do. Okay. Right, let's ignore that. Let's just continue on. Right, here we go. Boom, next. And that's what it's all for then. Bret Hart has been our SWE champion now for quite some time. And today he makes another championship defense. Who's he defended against so far? So he won it in the Battle of Los Angeles. Defended against Shawn Michaels. Defended against Vince McMahon. Defended against Sami Callihan. And... is that it? No, he's defended it more than that, I think, hasn't he? Let me have a goosey gander. So his last defense was Sami Callihan at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. He's defended it against Vince McMahon. Yep, and Montreal Mayhem. Oh no, this is only his 4th championship defense then, because he defended against Shawn Michaels first, who won the Rumble. So this is his 4th defense, and arguably could be the hardest. Maybe Shawn Michaels, but I don't know. But AJ Styles is going to be a very difficult opponent here. AJ, of course, making his way into this match when he won a fatal 4-way elimination on night number 1. Defeating Okada, Kenny Omega, and Chris Jericho. Jericho. So here we go then. The match is underway. Bret Hart versus AJ Styles, SWE Championship on the line. Your main event of night number 3 of the Forbidden Door. Of course, Bret Hart is the one sort of stand... well, no. Beth Phoenix as well, I suppose. The SWE Women's Champion stands out a bit as well in these shows, but... it's the way the cookie crumbles. Of course, Beth Phoenix successfully defended her Women's Championship on night number 2 as she defeated Thunder Rosa in what was an incredible match, actually. I really enjoyed that one. Nice boot in the back of the arm there by AJ Styles. Bret is back up. Nice forearm right in the face and a big strike as well. Elbow in the head there by AJ on Bret. Nice running drop kick. Bret now shoulder block taking AJ Styles down. I mean, if Bret does win this will be an incredible set of matches for him, I think. Was that the actual matches we've had? I think it is, yeah. Kota, Ibushi. So next up then, of course, tomorrow we will be starting our Dusty Classic tournament. And then on Wednesday we've got Dark. Then next week we've got AEW Revolution, because it is AEW Revolution next weekend. So that should be pretty interesting as well. Of course, the winner of this match will end up defending the championship there. And it'll be interesting to see which one of the AEW guys is going to get that opportunity. As AJ Styles now with Bret up on the shoulders drops him into that sidewalk slam. Now AJ heading up to the top. Looking for the elbow in the spine, but Bret saw it coming, rolled out the way. Of course, don't forget Darby Allin also successfully won the Hardcore Championship in this pay-per-view as well. So it'll be interesting to see who he will defend that championship against next week. There is a lot of good opportunities, actually, for good matches. I'm thinking maybe a triple threat with Joey Janela and Eddie Kingston could be a good shout. Maybe John Moxley in there as well. But no, John Moxley will be part of the SWE Championship, I would imagine. As AJ now rolling through Bret Hart into that calf crusher. Will AJ get the tap and become our second SWE champion? He does! He did it! AJ Styles gets Bret Hart to tap. And AJ Styles becomes our new SWE champion via tap out. That's a big one, that. Was not expecting that. It was quite a quick victory as well, actually. A very, very quick victory, and there we go. AJ Styles victorious. He becomes your second SWE champion, and AJ Styles will move on to our Revolution pay-per-view next weekend to make his first championship defense. But who will that be against? We'll have to find out next week. Now, of course, yeah, it was a shorter main event than I was expected here tonight, but it is what it is. That's what the game's thrown out at us, so we will leave it there. Of course, don't forget to check out tomorrow. We have the beginning of the Dusty Classic, where we will be crowning our first tag team champions from 128 tag teams. Yes, you heard that right. And, of course, next week is AEW's Revolution as well, so hope to see you all there. Good night, God bless. Auf Wiedersehen, all the other good stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.